It's hard to put into words the last 4 years of my high school career, creating lifelong bonds, meeting new people, and making memories we will never forget. Our freshman year started in a way that no one ever saw coming. People were wearing face masks and coming into school midway through the school day. Students were split into 3 cohorts and meeting their new classmates through Google Meets and spread out classrooms. Midway throughout the year, when the cohorts were split into 2, we would come into school every other day and finally experience a full day in the school. We tried our best to have sports practices while still wearing masks and had no air conditioning in the gym yet. Our first walkathon took place in different places because having too many participants in the same area would go against the guidelines for COVID. Sophomore year is where all of our high school careers really began. This was the year where everyone finally came into school at the same time, even though we still had to wear masks, and people started making their friendships and sports were finally allowed. Junior and senior year went by in the blink of an eye, with us students finally achieving the feeling of being upperclassmen. These years are when we had the most fun participating in all the senior events, some students being able to go on retreats and even visiting out of the country. The experience for me was more important than just the events and opportunities I had, but the friendships and family that I made along the way. As an incoming freshman, we were all tasked to decide on a high school that would be our home for the rest of our adolescent years. After being accepted, me and my family took a couple visits to the open houses and already loved the culture there. When me and my dad went to go see the basketball team that year, the atmosphere in the gym was electric, which really sold it for me and my family. I felt as if the family aspect of the school was really shown that night, and the overwhelming support of the team's classmates and even teachers was there every single game they could. Once we got home, I told my dad that this would be the school for me because it fit my expectations perfectly. I didn't need a big school where you can get lost in the halls or not even know everyone in your grade. I needed a second home. St. Edmund's gifted me the opportunity to allow students, teachers, and coaches into my life that would help me shape into the person that I am today. Being a part of the athletic program since freshman year meant for me to be a better version of myself each year and build chemistry with teammates and coaches for our own individual success. Coach Wyatry, Coach Pat, and Coach Walsh were just some of those coaches who pushed everyone to their very best to not only make them a better basketball player, but a better man. Coach Wyatry and Coach Walsh taught me all the discipline and responsibility I know today, which helped shape me to be a senior leader for my team. Coach Pat taught the team morals and to have respect for one another, showing us that the team was not only just a group of guys that had to practice every day with each other, but a brotherhood. This aspect of being a brotherhood or a family translated throughout the school with advice from our teachers as well. Although the classes were excruciatingly long, with some long topics no one needed to know about, these teachers were not just there to teach you, they were there to guide you. I was lucky enough to meet some teachers that did not treat me or anyone as any certain student, but created bonds with us to know that we will always have someone there to talk to. I know we all have teachers that really stood out in our high school careers, but 2 come up to mind for me. Coming into my junior year, I was introduced to Mr. Wagner and Ms. Hanley, who were 2 teachers that really left a lasting impression on me. Mr. Wagner allowed other students and I to challenge ourselves taking IB physics. Coming into this class, everyone was sort of afraid and was not ready for what was to come. Mr. Wagner introduced us to this class with open arms and made sure that everyone was comfortable with the topics being talked about. He made one of the most challenging classes in the school seem like the best class to be in because of the amount of support and intelligence he gave us each and every day. Ms. Hanley became not only a teacher to her students, but a friend that you can tell anything to. I had the ability to be in her class as well as go on 2 travel study trips with her. In these experiences, she allowed me to feel comfortable telling her about things going on in my life, and allowing me to go on these trips created a new urge for me to travel the world as well and experience new cultures and lifestyles around the world. I thank these teachers and every other teacher I have had for all that they do, as we would not all be sitting here without them. I can't even begin to speak about my fellow classmates, as I have the utmost appreciation and respect for each and every person here. Some people here I met just 3 or 4 years ago, I can gladly call my brothers and sisters. The impact that you have left on my life is tremendous, and I don't take that for granted. As our high school years sadly come to an end, we will all be going our separate ways, but we will forever be connected to each other because of the small school we all decided to attend on 2474 Ocean Avenue. This school has not only changed us throughout the years, but taught us maturity and preparation for our future years. These are bonds that us classmates will share forever and will always cherish. I thank the school for all it has done for me and my fellow classmates. We finally flew through the storm and can now say we reached the finish line. We are Eagles forever.